Tim Lee asks, what made you fall in love with Ernestine? I welcome any and all personal questions, especially this one. Tim, that's an easy one for me. I fell in love with my wife, Ernestine, because of her spark, her spirit, her devotion, her loyalty, all of which I experienced on our first date. In fact, actually, she and I were love at first sight. I was on a show called Cold Pizza, you might remember. This was in New York City. This was August of 2005. We shot Cold Pizza live in the basement of the New Yorker Hotel at 34th and 8th. And one fateful Friday, I did something I'd never done, something I have never done since. I left my notes for what we then call Fourth Down, our closing segment in the show, left those notes in my dressing room, which was quite a ways from our studio. It was a long hallway down which I literally had to run down the long hallway because I had 3 minutes to get back for the close of the show. Down that long hallway, I had to run right past, on my right, our green room. Guests were in the green room, people with them in the green room. I just glanced quickly to my right and came to a screeching halt because I caught the eye of this hot-looking woman who waved at me. I stopped. Do I know you? She said, I'm Ernestine. She came right towards me. Ernestine has big balls. She was there as the PR rep for Kevin Dillon of Entourage fame, who was on the show that day. So, a little shook up, I said, you live in New York? She said, yeah, she lives at 51st and 2nd, even though it was actually 52nd and 1st, but she got a little flustered because I was in such a rush, and she obviously hadn't planned on me running past the green room with the show going on. But she gave me her card. The rest was history. So for our first date, we went to this little pizza by the slice place on First Avenue. They even had cheeseless pizza, which I went for. And she hates me telling this story, but at that table in that little pizzeria that night, I soon just laid my cards right on the table for her. I said, just so you understand, if this goes anyplace, just know you'll always be number 2 to my work, which is my life. Hey, at least I declared myself right up front. She now likes to joke she at least became 1A. But you know what she immediately did? Immediately. She bought the ESPN, in those days, college football package so that on Saturdays, I could watch every college game I needed to at her apartment. She knew Sunday's NFL out of the question. Maybe that's why we've now been together for almost 20 years. But I do think she briefly considered leaving me last Saturday. So I was watching all at once my Oklahoma Sooners, my Vanderbilt Commodores, and Dion's Colorado at Nebraska. And in she rushed, holding the top of her head and saying she might have to go to the hospital. She quickly explained she was dragging in this heavy box of bottled water that had just been delivered. She wanted to get it out of the way, and that she had raised up too quickly and just smashed the top of her head on the countertop. So I quickly made her lie down on the couch. She said, am I bleeding? Quickly checked. Nope, no blood. She said, do I have a concussion? I said, I don't think so. You seem just fine to me. You're just going to have a big bump on your head. So I quickly suggested she get some ice on it, and I did. Good husband that I am. I did quickly run into the kitchen to fill a little baggie with ice that she quickly put on the top of her head. But as soon as she placed ice on head, she noticed that my eyes had gone right back to the 2 games up on my big 2 TV screens. Those 2 games had quickly re-hypnotized me. And she shook her throbbing head and she said, I'm hurt and you're watching games. And I said, look, you're fine. There's no blood. You don't need any stitches. You don't have a concussion. But we did have a fight. I love you, Ernestine. I love you more than ever. Hey, maybe we should even try doing a show together. How about Skip versus Ernestine? She's the only person who's ever beaten me in a debate.